Welcome to day 43. Today we're going to be talking about Exodus chapters 35 to 36. Here, 35, it's talking about the Sabbath regulations, which is 6 days to work, and then the seventh day, make it holy. It didn't say just relax, but it says holy, cease from your work, to the point that if you work, you get put to death. That's what it says in chapter 35. That's intense. We're gonna My takeaway later will be about Sabbath. It goes on to talk about the offerings for the tabernacle, articles of the tabernacle, the tabernacle's offerings presented, the artisans called by God, these artists who I mentioned before. The first person to be explicitly mentioned that the Spirit of God was filled in him was Bezalel, son of Uri. He gave him wisdom, he equipped him with everything he needs to fulfill his task. The other person mentioned here is Aholiab, the other artisan, and there are many other artisans with them. Those two were specifically mentioned. Chapter 36, they have a good problem when the people gave more than enough to the making of sanctuary. That's a good problem to have, of course. And so Moses told them, yeah, we can just calm down. We have enough already. So that's great. People were excited. People were of one mind. It seems to me that's why they had more than enough. And then it goes on to talk about the building of the tabernacle. My takeaway here is about the Sabbath, which I did say. Let me start off with a quote by Martin Luther. The spiritual rest which God especially intends in this commandment is that we not only cease from our labor and trade, but much more, that we let God alone work in us, and that in all our powers we do nothing of our own. My Watchman Nee's quote: the Christian experience from start to finish is a journey of dependence on the indwelling Christ. Now, I mentioned before that there is an extreme to this. It doesn't mean that we don't work at all. Faith, this doesn't contradict what James says, that faith without works is dead. Show me your faith, I'll show you my works. He's not talking about self-reliance. He's saying that God demands that we align ourselves to him, and that is through work. And we're not working to be saved, but good works comes from being saved. We are saved for good works. We are not saved through good works. In Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8 to 9, it says that it is by grace we have been saved through faith, and that not of ourselves. It is the gift of God, in case anyone would boast, which is great. We don't want to get to heaven and have these proud people talking about, oh, how did you get here? I drove through my BMW and I used my Mercedes Benz or whichever. There's no game like that. You come in low, sinner, repent. That's how you get in, accept Jesus into your heart and be not just accept one time. It's actually an ongoing process to realize how sinful we are before God, and we walk with Him. We carry our cross. Um, so it's great. No one can be bragging how they got to heaven. It's all God's grace, and we should learn from Sabbath. We should rest on what He has accomplished. God created the heavens and earth, or God created this physical world in 6 days, which I believe on the seventh day he rested. Yes, that's clearly mentioned there. But I don't think he got tired. I think even then he was demonstrating that we should rest. Rest is good. So yeah, uh, that's it. Thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate you. My hope, my prayer is that you would seek God daily through the Bible, and please take very good care of yourself. Bye.